Hello everybody, this is Gretchen Heidel live tonight on Facebook. It is our Monday night date on April 24th, and this is the week of, August 24th. Is it August, September? What month is this? It's been like this, hasn't it, this month? Welcome everybody. So August 24th, we are here live tonight on Facebook. I'm Gretchen Heidel, professional astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, psychic medium, and so much more. And I'm here tonight to talk to you live. Hello, everybody. Welcome that's joining. About the astrology of this week, we have a lot going on, and I'm always saying that because that's what's happening in 2020. A lot's happening. So welcome, everybody who's joining. If you are just joining me live tonight, go ahead and post your astrological sign. Corbin already said he's back, and he's a Scorpio. And Monica, yay. Yes, I'm sorry I ran a little behind tonight. I wanted to eat some dinner. I found that when I eat dinner after the broadcast, it's just too late for me, and then my tummy gets a little upset. So, so welcome everybody joining live. And so we're going to talk today about the big Mars square Saturn thing that was going on today. There was a lot of contentious energy here. My mom is on live. Hello, welcome. She's a Virgo. Sheila from Arizona, Capricorn. Hey, welcome. And I also have the map tonight. I was going to talk to you guys about the map of what is going on in the United States. And I know you guys love to see and the energy that's kind of happening and where it's affecting us. So, because there's a lot of natural disasters and natural things happening right now. So I want to talk about that as well. We have some fires. We have potentially a double hurricane that's going to be hitting for the first time ever in U.S. history if they hit at the same time in the Gulf area, and we have a lot of fires in California and also in Colorado, and so I wanted to talk to you guys about that. And tonight is the big Republican convention kickoff start thing, so there's just a lot happening in the world right now that we live in, and it's quite interesting times that we all kind of came in astrologically. We all say that they all come in. So today at 2:19 p.m. Eastern time, Mars and Aries formed a contentious square with Saturn. Now Mars is going to be forming all kinds of squares with Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, Pallas, all through the fall. And so that's basically what we're dealing with. That's a lot of sort of contentious energy that we're having right now with Mars. Mars is the god of war. Mars is in Aries right now. And so we're feeling this very contentious Mars energy that's been happening. And it's really contentious. I mean, that's basically the thing about it. So my mom just said Colorado is very smoky right now. I mean, yeah, you guys are buried under, my mom's been telling me they're on a fire alert right now because it's just been a drought. Colette here, Capricorn, welcome. Katrina now lives in Maine. Oh, that's so cool. Sagittarius, welcome. So yeah, so we have a lot of that sort of energy. And so Mars, being the god of war, and then we also have Saturn, and Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn is kind of what we're meant to do here, kind of in this lifetime. It's our karma. It's also big authoritative figures that are over us and kind of watching us and overpowering us. It can be problems with men. Archetypally, Saturn's associated with the father. Saturn, I could say, is Big Daddy because Cronus in the Greek mythology was the father of Jupiter and Neptune and also Pluto. So he's Big Daddy. And so what happens when Mars, the god of war, squares off with Big Daddy? Well, that can be a lot of fighting. And last week we had Mars, or the week before on the 13th of August, we had Mars squaring Pluto. So we're just going to be having this kind of coming, this is going to be happening all throughout the fall. And then when Mars goes retrograde, starting on 9/9, so 9/9 to 11/13, Mars, the god of war, is going to be going retrograde, and we'll be all feeling that from the retrograde, because whenever the personal planets go retrograde, we feel them even more intensely. Mars only goes retrograde approximately every 2 years, so we haven't had to deal with Mars retrograde for a little while, but of course, 2020 we have to deal with Mars retrograde. It's like we're just going to throw everything in the mix here. So Naomi, hi, welcome. Renee, Gemini Sun, Aquarius Moon, Leo rising. Nice. That's very cool. Venus in Cancer. That's awesome, Renee. So welcome everybody that's joining live with me tonight. Like and share, like and share. That's how the good word gets spread. And I've been doing these ever since COVID started. I've been doing these live broadcasts, and I'm going to keep doing them because I really feel like I want to help people. I want to help the energy. And I do believe forewarned is forearmed. So when we can see kind of what's coming and how things are happening, it's like we don't feel like we're so, I don't want to use the word crazy, but, you know, for lack of a better word, we don't feel like we're so off mark. In other words, what's wrong? You know, I get a lot of people go, what's wrong with me? And then when they see my broadcast or when they see, you know, kind of what's happening, then they're like, oh yeah, you know, I am feeling kind of weird, or like, you know, this is resonating with me. So we had that today, and that's going to linger. I mean, unfortunately, that's a lingerer. We did go over the peak, or the height of it today was 2:19 p.m., but it takes a little while for those planets to move on. Mars isn't a super zippy planet, neither, definitely, you know, Saturn's not very zippy. So we have that happening. So that's kind of the beginning of their week. It's a little sludgy. Okay. Then tomorrow, oh my gosh, we have so many planetary things tomorrow on Tuesday, so it doesn't get any better, I'm sorry to say. So as we go into Tuesday, August 25th, we have the second quarter lunar cycle, or it's sometimes called the first quarter lunar cycle. It's kind of confusing. And basically, this is the first quarter moon after the new moon takes place. So we're in between, we're at the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon. And so the halfway point, which is the second quarter lunar cycle, it's going to be taking place at 2 degrees Sagittarius. So there was a couple Sagittariuses on here now. And if you have any of the mutable signs in your astrological chart, so Gemini Sagittarius or Virgo Pisces, basically it's one of those things that you will feel this more. And so when we talk about the quarter lunar cycles, really it's that whole naming system. I don't know how we named all of this, but it's not even a quarter of a moon. It's really a half of a moon. So if you look at it in the sky, depending on where you are, the left half is going to be dark and the right half is going to be lit up. And that's basically what's called the first quarter lunar cycle. And so that's in Sagittarius. And that's a time of, okay, so we planted new seeds on the new moon. I call this the second chance new moon. So if you all forgot, if any of you forgot to write out your new moon manifestation list, this is the time to do it. The height of it is going to be at 1:58 p.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that if you're Mountain Time or on the West Coast. And so that's basically the second chance new moon. So you can write out your new moon manifestation list if that's, you know, if you skipped it or forgot. And this is another time in the month where you can work on manifesting, because you can work on manifesting any time between the new moon, which is the best time, the most ideal time to work on it. And then we build in light, okay, as we're headed towards the full moon. So as we're headed towards that full moon, building, whatever you want to build and grow as far as your manifestations go, that's the time to do it, okay? So basically that's the deal. Now, if you have Sagittarius in your chart, you will definitely feel this a little bit more like acutely or strongly. And it's a time of kind of reevaluating, you know, you want to reevaluate kind of what the deal is. Okay, so the farmer planted the seeds on the new moon. Now we're going to check and see, like, do we need to fertilize? What do we need to do? Do we need to adjust the sunlight or the pots of the plants or whatever we're kind of doing? Do we need to water differently? What do we need to do with our crops? And so that's kind of what, it's a time, those quarter lunar cycles are times of reevaluating basically what your goals are, what your dreams are. And if you want to tweak some little things here or there, go ahead. That's the time to do it. Oh, hey, Kim. Welcome. Scorpio here. Monica said, your live weekly broadcast, most generous, helpful, and insightful during COVID times. Naomi, yes, it's crazy energy. Juliet, hello, Taurus, Libra rising. Awesome. Welcome. So we have that going on. But tomorrow, when we talk about tomorrow's energy with Sagittarius, we also have Mercury is going to form a trine with Uranus. And then also Venus is going to oppose Jupiter. So we have a lot of astrological energy tomorrow. Plus there's even more stuff. I'm not even going to go into all of it because it's actually too much. It's just like, if you break them all down, it's just too much. So basically what the deal is, because I like to make things really kind of simple. You can look at this week, this whole week activated is going to be a grand Earth trine. So Mercury is in Virgo, and Mercury, okay, is going to form a trine. So think of a trine as a triangle, grand Earth trine. So you got Virgo, then Mercury is going to be forming a trine with Uranus, and then it's going to be forming, which is in Taurus, and then Mercury is going to form a trine with Capricorn, and those two, Jupiter and Uranus, are in a trine with each other right now because it's Taurus and Capricorn. So it's all the Earth signs basically. It's Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So all your Earth signs are going to be, this is going to be all up in your grill. Grand Earth trines are very like sort of powerful because it's going to be like, it's like extra strong in the Earth element. So if you think of the Earth, we were just talking about the Earth right now. The United States is going through a lot of like, natural disaster type energy and vibrations. So we want to talk about that Earth stuff, especially when you talk about Uranus, because Uranus is something that's shocking, unexpected, instability. Like, so it can be volcanoes, it can be earthquakes, it can be things like that. And then you talk about Jupiter. Jupiter makes everything bigger. So we have this historic thing happening, that's going to be coming up. And especially when we look on Thursday, on August 27th, Venus is going to form a trine. Again, trines in astrology are considered to be fun, but they're still, I always tell people, caution with looking at things as positive or negative. Us human beings, we always want to look at stuff as positive or negative. In astrology, you just want to look at that as being activated energy. So on Thursday, Neptune is going to be forming a trine with Venus in Cancer, and Cancer is water. Okay, Neptune in Pisces is water. And look where Neptune is. Neptune is the blue line going through the United States. I don't know if you guys can see that. And what is that? That's the Gulf of Mexico right here. Okay, and Neptune is the god of the ocean and god of the sea. And so when we look at this, we're looking at this potential of these hurricanes coming into that zone, Neptune activating that whole entire Gulf area. And Neptune again is the god of the ocean, god of the sea, and also it's activating all of this water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and then we have all the earth energy going on. Ooh, this is a lot. So whenever you're looking at Neptune is, definitely strong misunderstandings. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Neptune can be very strong misunderstandings, but also it literally is the god of the seas. But he's the, Neptune is equivalent to Poseidon, okay, in Greek mythology. So if you can see that, that's basically where it's highlighting, and I think it will end up being even if they don't hit exactly simultaneously, I think it's going to end up being a big deal with flooding. There's going to be a lot of flooding and crops flooded out and just different things happening. I've told you guys, I predicted that there's going to be this is going to be a very contentious autumn for us in astrology, and a lot of these things are kind of happening. So the other hot spot, if you will, is Colorado. Now, these two are kind of separated. This is the sun line right here, is the orange line, and then the yellow line is Mercury. But last week during that new moon, they were together, and it was going in Leo, which was, if you remember last Monday night, I was talking to you guys about Leo being a fire sign. Well, right now, you can see they are running through other states, but right now Colorado is pretty much on fire, okay? And so they were together last week when the new moon was happening, was going through Colorado. But the big thing is that I want to talk about for sure. Am I on the right side here? Nope. It's hard doing this backwards because the camera flips it. this is the West Coast, okay? This is San Francisco, this is Washington, Oregon. I don't know if you can see these planets here. This is actually Jupiter, this is Saturn, this is Pluto. These are all three are retrograde right now, so they're going this way. But when they go direct, and as they head, like next year, as they head towards land, the closer these three get to land, oh, whoo, whoo, that's going to be kind of scary. In the West Coast, and I'm sorry for you West Coast folks that are watching, because I'm not trying to scare you, but I mean, there's going to be fires, there's going to be earthquakes, there's going to be all kinds of stuff as those planets move closer and closer to the West Coast. And it's just a little scary. I mean, they were very, very activated. I don't know if you guys can see, but they were actually closer because they're retrograde now, so they're backing away. But they were closer. They were like almost inland when the coronavirus actually came into the United States through the West Coast area. So the West Coast right now has a lot of like, stuff. And then the East Coast has quite a bit too. I mean, look at all these lines. Mars line is going right through the East Coast, this Philly right here. And we do have some other planetary stuff going through the East Coast, but we have a lot of energy in those areas. Now, also, I should point out today we had another police brutality happening, and I believe that was it in Wisconsin? Does anybody know the police brutality? Because it was pretty, I remember looking earlier, it was pretty close to that Neptune line. So if anybody who is on the broadcast knows what area that the police brutality and the new wave of riots. So this is what's going to happen is the wave of riots is not going to be stopping. We had like a lull, but now that Mars, the god of war, is actually, okay, Naomi said yes, it was Wisconsin. I'm sorry, I was having a brain moment there. As Mars gets more and more activated, the god of war, we're going to keep in the United States having these riots and having these different things happening. We had like a lull, or it seemed like things quieted down, but it's not gone. And the energy right now is supposed to be kind of like change. It's radical change energy. We're supposed to be having change. I mean, all this stuff is change. It's kind of hard, watching all of this and participating in it and all of that stuff. It's hard energy, but like we're on this major like course correction right now in our country, and that's basically what this stuff is supposed to be doing, even though, like I said, it's difficult all the way around. I mean, it's hard stuff, hard topics, hard conversations, but right now we're kind of supposed to be having those conversations. We're supposed to be like kind of radically, and as we get closer into 2021, I actually think it's not even going to die down. It's going to be increasing even more. So just to let you guys know, that's kind of basically the deal. So we're all, so Jenny said, are we somewhat less vulnerable here in Vermont? We have nice planets going through Vermont right now. These planets are a lot more, I don't know how to say, like friendly in Vermont. We have Venus going through Vermont, which is our love, I mean, like we have nicer planets going through Vermont. So, we don't have these radical, like change type planets, going through. And the George Floyd, murder, that took place was also very close to where like Neptune is. So it's interesting because, I mean, these lines are felt, by the way, 200, 400 miles away from each other. So even though they're like just running through specific spots, there's like really like a bubble around them. This was the George Floyd in Minneapolis. This was the George Floyd map of the date that when he was murdered, and look at how close Neptune is through that. Now this is the new incident. It took place in Wisconsin, so it's still within that line, that Neptune line. It's still very close. And Neptune is, what's the dream? Martin Luther King, we talked about Neptune. Martin Luther King had an active Neptune, and that was kind of, what's his most famous speech? The speech was about the dream, and so that's kind of like creating this unrest, even though, people don't think of Neptune as a vengeful god, but Neptune can be, for sure, when we're talking about astrology, Neptune can be kind of a badass, he's the god of the sea. How many people drown in the ocean in history? Lots. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. Okay, so people are asking questions. Kirsten said, how long will the unrest continue, particularly in the West Coast this fall? Well, it's going to continue with the West Coast for a long time because these planets are actually moving inland. So, and I keep doing that. I'm sorry. These planets keep moving this way. Okay. They're moving inland. So, all this whole year of 2020, they've been kind of out to sea. Next year, they're moving closer and closer to becoming inland. So really, that's going to be going on 2021, 2022 for those West Coast kind of stuff. So there's going to be real problems with the West Coast coming up, and unfortunately, I think that could really produce some really big time like stuff like the earthquakes and the different things happening out there on the West Coast. Like I said, in a weird way, we're kind of getting sort of a break, not really a break, but they're backing away a little bit. But I noticed even, I don't know if you guys remember, in Idaho, there was a really big earthquake. Well, they were coming in during that time. They were direct. When Idaho had that earthquake, they were coming in like towards the land. And then there was a big earthquake. And then the wildfires. Yeah. Somebody else saying I was talking about wildfires, Katie. Hey, Gretchen, nice to see your face as well. She said, nice to see your face. I'm not talking to myself. There's another Gretchen on the broadcast. And Gail said you missed the beginning. So I would definitely watch the replay because this is the big thing that's going on. United States is in its Pluto return. That's the other thing. The height of the Pluto return is not even going to happen until catch the date here. The peak of the Pluto return for the United States is 2/22 in 2022. That's literally the height, and I'm not even making that up. In astrology, the height of it is going to be on that day. So the Pluto return has not happened yet. We've never ever had a Pluto return in the history of the United States. Pluto only returns every roughly 250 years. So back in 1776 was when Pluto was in Capricorn at the very, very end of Capricorn. And now we are in our Pluto return. And trust me, it takes so long for Pluto to go anywhere because Pluto is like the most outer planet here in the zodiac here. That literally we're in that zone now. 2 years is nothing. When we're talking about 250 years, 2 years is nothing. So we're in that zone. So the United States specifically is going into its Pluto return, and then we're having that we're having a big course correction, and we're in the middle of it now. It's just starting. That's all that stuff is just starting. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. So we have this grand Earth trine energy, and what can Earth trines do for us? Okay, so again, trines in astrology are considered to be good and positive and all that. So where is all your Earth energy in your chart? I'm always encouraging people to learn about their charts. So what houses? So they usually will light up different houses or different energy. Like if you already know that you are an Earth person, or if you already know that you have Taurus or Virgo or Capricorn in your chart, you're definitely already feeling this. And so the Earth energy is going to be helping to ground us, hopefully. Okay, because think of Earth, it's grounding and it's practical. Earth is like see it, feel it, hear it, touch it, smell it. It's very practical energy. So this week is all about practically doing what you need to do all the steps, all the different things. But Uranus is one of the Earth elements, involved. And Uranus is literally the wild card. Uranus is, again, earthquakes and sudden unexpected events and surprises, and all of those things are Earth energy. So basically what the deal is that this earth energy is very strong energy. It's very powerful energy. Think of, earth. I mean, it's like a mountain, it's huge, but it's also, it's that grounded, it's that practical energy. So it's, what are the steps? What are your goals? But when we have Uranus in there, Uranus is the wild card. So there's going to be something this week that we have to navigate around, and we have to sort of think about, because we might get a curveball this week that kind of comes at us out of nowhere, and we're going to have to think about, okay, what do I have to do here? How do I correct this, or how do I figure this out? Again, using practical steps and practical measures. I mean, Earth is very good at that. It's like the checklist of like what you do every day, like, pay my bills, vacuum the floor, go to work, all the, whatever the checklist is that you guys have for your life. That's earth energy. So if you know that you have, like, let's say a Taurus moon, you're going to be feeling this a lot, but with Uranus involved, there's always an element of anxiety, because Uranus is kind of like that nervous upset, shake up kind of thing. And I feel like this hurricane energy is really, I can feel it. I can feel it already. I can feel it. Even before the announcement was made, I'm like, something's coming, and I'm not sure, something's coming. So Marilee said, what is up for the Pluto return for the United States? We're going to have a big, major course correction, which is going to put us on a whole new trajectory in these next 2 years. And there's a lot of stuff coming. But basically, like, the old way is dying, and there's like a new way that is forming. So if you think about what happened in 1776, that was kind of like after the American Revolution had started, and people were getting tarred and feathered on the street, and there was uprising, and there was all this stuff. All of a sudden, then all of our founding fathers in history got together, and they created the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States was actually born under Pluto in Capricorn, and a lot of Capricorn energy, actually. So that's the thing of this, is that, so we're having our Pluto return for the United States. So we are kind of we're going to be recreating something here. I'm not saying we're scrapping the Constitution and restarting over again, but these returns kind of build on each other. Okay, so we might take that and expand upon it. We might do something, Time for founding mothers. I love that. Marilee said, time for founding mothers. Deborah said she's Virgo rising, so you'll definitely be feeling this. Lori said Cancer, Aquarius rising. Yes, you need a grounding kind of week. Kirsten is Capricorn. Oh my gosh, Marilee, triple Taurus. That's right. Oh my gosh, Jane, I didn't know. So you're moving to... is it Nevada? NZ. What's NZ? In New Zealand? Is that what I'm reading there? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And so basically this is what the deal is. So we have a lot of energy that's happening, and it's kind of contentious. You made a joke. I was like, wow, that's crazy, but also could be maybe could be a good thing if you move to New Zealand. Maybe we should all move to New Zealand. That would be how we spend our United States Pluto return. We kind of take a little vacation for a couple of years, get out of this energy. But I also believe that this is just my belief, is that we choose to incarnate in certain places, doing certain things. Obviously, when you look at astrology, we incarnate into certain places, which gives us astrological energy in our chart and whatever. So maybe we're badasses. Maybe we chose to incarnate during all this kind of stuff so we could be thought leaders or some sort of, positive light on certain current situations. And even if I call it the corner of our world syndrome, like if we just affect our little corner of our little universe that we're in, we're not all, Oprah Winfrey or somebody that can inspire millions and millions of people, but maybe in our little area, I had like 35 viewers tonight, and I'll have even more later and more on YouTube. We're talking about this, and so how can you, as an individual, as a citizen, as all of that stuff, do your part and help help the world, help the United States guide through this sort of tumultuous situation. I mean, it is kind of a crazy thing. Okay, so basically, how do we harness our grand Earth trine energy? We're going to be getting nice and grounded. I don't know about you guys, but as an empath, it's hard for me to ground in the middle of all of this natural disaster sort of energy, so that's even extra. So it's almost like we want to send the rain from the hurricane up to Colorado, over to California. We want to do that and away from the low-lying sort of lands, which are in Louisiana and other areas that are going to get like really majorly flooded. So we want to kind of, and Texas and all that, we want to kind of move the energy, like with our thoughts, move it up there and send rain clouds to those fire areas. And that's how we can help with our earth energy and doing that. So I'm going to pull a card, just a collective card for everybody here that's online, one card. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll let you guys get back to your Monday night here. But I thought it'd be really cool to print out the map this week so that you guys could see, just for a lot of people are joining right now, just so that you guys can see the astrological energy of this. And this is the Gulf of Mexico, and that is Neptune, the god of the ocean, going through the Gulf of Mexico. So we were talking about those hurricanes. These poor islands down here are really like poor Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic is just like got tons of energy going through it. And Puerto Rico, just so that you guys know, all these energies that are over here. This is Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter and all that. They were all going through Puerto Rico all at the same time when all those disasters have been hitting one after another to poor Puerto Rico. I'm like, why are we not helping Puerto Rico? I don't get it. It's almost like we're like just like abandon them or something. I don't know. It's like I'm like, why are we not helping Puerto Rico? I feel like we should be helping Puerto Rico. So, okay, your question is about your new relationship with Capricorn. You're a Pisces, yay! But then he pulled away. Oh, Capricorn men do that. I'm sorry to say that, Gail. Capricorn men can really do that. They are puller awayers, and actually Pisces and Capricorn are really good together typically, but they do tend to pull away. So it's a thing. This is what they do. Don't go after him. Don't call him. Don't do anything. Let him come to you. Let him come back to you, because really, that's how they're very slow. They're real slow, Gail. So if you're quick and fast and you want like something and you want, they can be, I've been in quite a few relationships with Capricorn men, and they're slow. Also, Capricorns, let's just be fair, Capricorns are going through a lot right now too. Like all that energy that's creating like the fires and all that stuff, the death and destruction on the West Coast, that's all Capricorn energy too. I mean, Capricorns in general are getting really kind of worked out a bit with this energy. It's a lot of energy in their chart. So I'll pull a card for you, Gail. Okay. What do we need to know about Mr. Capricorn for Gail here? Wise decision. Don't second guess yourself, okay, please? And do you see how there's an owl? I don't know if you can see it. There's an owl. It's a guardian angel card. I'm using, these are guardian angel cards. Saints and Angels, okay, from Doreen Virtue. It's a pretty well used deck here. But whatever happened, Gail, just have faith in yourself. By the way, owls also, as far as spirit totems, they are wisdom, but they're also about seeing, okay, something that's going on that you might need to see, okay? So if he's showing you how he is, believe him, the Maya Angelou, the famous quote, if somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Believe him. So make sure that you pay attention, because he's showing you how he is. If he's pulling back, he's showing you something about himself. Believe that. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a collective card. What is everybody that's on the broadcast, watching the replay, watching me on YouTube. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, go ahead and do that because that is really cool. Oh, shoot. You wanted to see the owl card. I already shuffled it, Lori. I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Okay. What does everybody need to know for this week? All of this grand Earth trine energy and Mars square Saturn energy and all the energy that we're having this week. What does everybody need to keep in mind during this week and hold in their hearts? Okay, blessings of abundance. Okay, remember that we're always guided, protected, loved. Okay, she's holding like this really wonderful bounty of fruit here. This is a guardian angel card. Blessings of abundance. Okay, there are people in this world that don't have running water, that don't have electricity, that don't have food, that, you know, and so remember to always have gratitude. Remember to always feel blessed and wonderful. I will tell you that, I don't know if you guys remember last week, I said that this weekend specifically on the 22nd, but I did intuit many months ago that there was going to be a like new form of treatment or something that was going to be coming out on this weekend specifically. And it is kind of interesting because the treatment that Donald Trump is promoting and all of this stuff is actually like a throwback type of a treatment. So it's not entirely new for COVID, but there was this big announcement which caused the stock market to go way up. Now, I knew there was going to be stock market activity today, and in fact, I said that last week during my video. I actually thought it was going to go down, so I was incorrect about that prediction. In fact, it went up today. So when we're talking about abundance, okay, we're talking about the stock market went up. Yay, that's good for people's portfolios and wonderful, you know, savings if you have savings and all that stuff. But we also want to remember to not get too high on the highs, too low on the lows. We want to kind of stay in the middle. So blessings of abundance, we want to make sure that we remember that we have blessings, you know, and that we can connect with that energy, that gratitude energy. I feel like that's so important. So I hope that helps. Okay. Yeah, Jenny said it's easy to forget blessings in the midst of all this struggle. It's so important to appreciate them. Exactly. Lori, yes, on the anniversary of your sister's murder. And I'm so sorry about Alicia. She was a really special woman. I never got to meet her, but I've met her many times through you. You know, it's wonderful that you need to remember that there's blessings in this world, and that blessings will prevail. Yeah, it's a thing. You know, we go through these hard life situations and hard lessons, but there's still always blessings. There's always a sunset at the end of the day, or something that we can hold on to. Okay, a baby that smiles at us, or a puppy that licks our face, you know, something that we can hold on to in our hearts that we know. Sometimes it's not people, sometimes it's animals, sometimes it's plants, sometimes it's all that good wonderful earth energy, right? We have a lot of earth energy right now. So yes. Oh, Gail said thank you. Not what you wanted to hear, but you appreciate an owl is in your totem. Well, if you have owl in your totem and then the owl came out, that's really even very good. And that also gives you the sight, you know, Gail. That gives you the foresight or the insight or the clairvoyant sight. You know, third eye is the chakra right here, the sight, to be able to help you to see things that, you know, sometimes even when we don't want to see them, that we can see them. So I would, Gail, if I were you, I'd lean way back. If he comes around, great. And you don't want to jump on him and immediately like, where have you been, dude? You want to, you know, just keep talking and then eventually be like, hey, you know, I'm just curious. I thought we were kind of jiving here. I just was wondering what happened. You know, at some point in the conversation a little later, and that's a little dating and relationship coaching for you. So I hope that helps. You don't ever want to pounce on a person when they're re-entering, because, you know, it makes them feel bad or weird. We don't want to do that. He's probably going through something right now, but that's it. Okay, so Lisa said, thank you, very interesting. Hi, Lisa, welcome. Let's see here. Somebody else said, oh my gosh. All right, Deborah, career. I've been interviewing like crazy. Nothing's really happening. Deborah, It has been crazy right now. So I'll pull a card for you for what do you need to know about your career? What does Deborah need to know about her career right now? What's the most helpful thing the angels can tell Deborah about her career? Oh, you got something coming. And I'm sorry to say this. Okay, that's a beautiful card, by the way. She's sitting on a unicorn. I want a pet unicorn, too. I don't know how about you guys. Guardian angel card, okay. Triumphant, you will get a job, okay? Something is coming, okay? I feel like whatever it is, and it feels like a long ways away, but it feels like October. I'm seeing a lot of October energy around this. Like, you might even get something in the interim that you do, like a part-time, a temp job. You pet sit your neighbor's cats and you get $50. I don't know, but there's like a little interim kind of a thing that comes, and then the bigger thing comes in October. So I'm getting a bigger hit on October, but you might have interim income for some. I feel like there's like you're protected, like there is income that like somehow comes to you, whether you get like a little job, a part-time job, or some kind of a thing, and then you get like the bigger thing. So keep putting it out there. Just keep putting it out there, even if you know, I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's one of those things, like it has trouble landing. There's something that has trouble landing. Right now, the energy is really pretty clogged up. I'll just say that, like the energy of the universe is pretty clogged up. So you want to sort of take a breath and take your time. I hope that helps, but you have to keep me posted on what ends up happening. But there's bigger energy in October, and it feels like it like all of a sudden just clicks, like you were jammed up, and then you might have like 2 or 3 interviews all at one time, and like all of a sudden somehow it clicks and it opens up for you. That's what it feels like to me. Yes. So I hope that helps everybody. I won't keep you guys too much longer. I wanted to jump on and make you guys aware that there's this crazy sort of energy that's happening. Next weekend is also, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of, especially Sunday. Venus is going to oppose Pluto Sunday. Mercury is going to oppose Neptune on Sunday. Sunday of next week on the 30th is going to be contentious. So this weekend, this is what I want you all to do and all to know. If you're going to have a talk with your loved one, with your partner, with a friend, with your coworker, whatever that talk is, maybe don't have that talk. Maybe wait until next week, or maybe wait until another time, because that next weekend, there's a lot of confusing yet intense energy at the same time. So it's like, what do you mean you said black and I said white, and this you said left and I said right, and you said, all these different things, and it's like almost like everybody's intense about the miscommunicating. So please, this weekend, just maybe drop it. Maybe stay in a safe zone and go to a library where you can't, you have to zip it, I would kind of, because when we're trying to have clarity during an unclear time, that's really hard to do. I feel it's too hard. So this weekend instead, keep it light, keep it fun. There's a lot of heavy energy. So sometimes there's a tendency to always want to talk about the heaviness, but I feel like this is a time to talk about lightness, to feel light, to feel renewed, to feel rejuvenated, and not stay so heavy. It's the end of summer. Enjoy the end of summer and enjoy your time. So I hope that helps. Please feel free to reach out for a personalized astrological session with me. Send me a DM, a direct message, or you can text me on my cell phone. I'm happy. I'm finally working on, I downloaded it, but I have to now learn how to use it. But I am working on getting a online software scheduling thing, which is going to greatly help me. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. So I love all of you. Please love each other right now. This is such contentious energy. We got to send lots of love bubbles out. We have to send lots of love to the universe, to people, because I think everybody's just struggling, and there's a lot of conflict in the air. Okay, so let's send out love bubbles, and hopefully we can change the energy of the planet one frequency, one vibration at a time. Okay, namaste, everybody. Have a good night. Blessings.